when I first studied with Martha Graham, one of the things that was very perplexing to me, I could not get the contraction. So when everybody was going in, I was going out. When they were going out, I was going in. And I really was very frustrated, and she scared the living daylights out of me. She was going through her mad period where she hated women. And, oh God, this was 1953, so it was a long time ago. And I would try to place myself as close to the door, right, as I could possibly be. It would look like she would never see me. But she was an eagle eye, and she could like. She also, at that point, was she was not above hitting you. She was. She was sued thereafter by, she put her knee into some woman's back and did some irreparable damage. But at that point, she was still feeling free to touch you in a way that you would not want to be touched. At any rate, she came up to me one day, and we had, not like, what we had were cotton tights. So as soon as you bent your knees and then straightened them, and we all locked our knees, there were these gatherings at your knees because they weren't made of lycra, or they were made of cotton. So she didn't like that very much. So she came down one day and she pulled my pants. She didn't pull them down, she just straightened them out. And she said very pontifically, "Take them home and wash them and put them on the radiator because I want to see your legs." And I thought, oh my God, she spoke to me. But I really, it was not for me. And then there were several people there at that time who said, well, there's a much more interesting thing going on downtown. It was Alvin Nikolai. And you maybe never even heard of him, but he was very popular in the late 50s and 60s. And there, he didn't want to see your body. He wanted to put you in some kind of contraption, and he would sit there and say, if I could only get rid of the bodies. He really did. So we were at home, we could do whatever we wanted to do. He wasn't looking at just at our arms and legs. And do any of you know his work? Yeah, yeah. And he put you in a tube, and then had to get out of there somehow. And all of which just did not help my legs or my arms or anything. And but this woman who came to the studio, who really was an exquisite dancer, really set us all on the path, Rimpi and several other of us. We went to Judith Leibowitz. And what was interesting about Judith, she had polio as a child, and she did not have the use of her legs. But she walked with grit, true grit and uprightness. And she never even, at that time, she didn't have braces. She didn't even have a cane. She just walked. And so the idea that you could have balance, even if you were crippled, was very appealing to me. If I'm going down the slippery slope, I know I'll always be able to walk. And she released my neck and my head. And when you said this is a psychophysical technique, for me, it was a major event in my life because I had a primal scream. I remembered something that had happened to me in my neck. I frightened the poor lady. She hobbled out very quickly, and I was just in shock. But it really was the beginning of putting my mind and my body and myself all together psychologically. As some people know, have studied this, you can really have a very strong emotional response to this. But not everybody does, but some people do. And it really just organized the psycho and the physical and the idea of breathing. And breathing was the major bit. So I found it saved my life too.